Macao's return to China on December the 20th, 1999, marked the end of over a century of separation and was a testimony to the unity of the Chinese people. On that day, a new chapter in the city's history began. A chapter that has since seen not just the carrying forward of culinary traditions, but also two new important trends. Macao has developed world-class international fine dining at the same time as it has become more integrated with the Chinese mainland. In the early morning, old and new faces show up at the bustling Gungbei border crossing between Zhuhai and Macao. Since October the 2nd, 1999, this port has been the embodiment of the one country, two systems policy and the main channel between the Chinese mainland and Macao. Around 300,000 people pass through every day. On average, it takes 15 minutes to clear customs. Macao's other border crossing with the Zhuhai island of Henking to the southwest is even faster.
I'm Otto Wong Wai Ho from Hong Kong. I work as a chef in Macao and live in Henkin, so I cross the border every day.
Macao is becoming more closely integrated with Henkin. And every day, more people like Otto commute from the island, passing through the Henkin port.
The commute is convenient. I don't even have to wear a backpack. I only need a phone and a wallet to go through customs, and it only takes 10 minutes to get to Macao from the Henkin port.
A 10-minute walk, a 10-minute border crossing, and then a 10-minute bus ride. It only takes Otto 30 minutes to get to work.
Good. Keep it up.
Okay, got it.
Have a taste. Make sure they're savory.
Okay, got it.
Although only 35, Otto leads a team of experienced cooks and new apprentices, which in catering is unusual for someone so young.
I believe tradition is the root, and we need to learn to walk before we can run. We need to master traditional cuisine before we innovate. That's my culinary philosophy.
Wagyu beef with sand ginger, blue lobster with 10-year-old Huadiao wine, fried tripe, 4 servings.
Okay, got the crab.
Okay.
Fried tripe is one of Otto's specialities.
We only use the first third of the pig's tripe because the rest is too thin to be sliced. This dish is very crunchy.
Pig's tripe can be served either as an everyday dish or on formal occasions, depending on how much thought is put into it. When soaked raw in ice-cold water, it becomes firmer, which is the key to giving it a more chewy texture. A crab that has just melted is called a water crab in South China. Although it has little meat, it's Otto's secret weapon for dressing tripe. The water crab is pounded to yield an alkaline marinade. Dipping the tripe into it can enhance its freshness and soften its fiber to make it more tender.
Maybe just a few customers are willing to pay for a tripe dish, but those who appreciate cuisine and taste it like it a lot.
This method of preparing and cooking tripe originates from old-style Cantonese cuisine. Otto has incorporated it in the creation of his dish. In Macao's competitive culinary business, Otto has taken something ordinary and made it extraordinary. After his day working in Macao, Otto goes straight back to his home in Hengqin to cook dinner for his family. In spite of his daily double border crossing, Otto spends less time commuting than many city dwellers, and he can enjoy a rich and full family life. While some workers are getting ready for bed, others are just knocking on people.
I'm leaving.
Okay, drive slowly.
Okay, bye. We truck drivers drive like this every day, all year round.
For truck drivers, it's common to work through the night. A right-hand drive and dual number plates on this vehicle indicate where its driver Ma Qingqi is going. While most of China is sleeping, this workplace is in full swing. This is a vegetable processing base for the Macao market. Fruits and vegetables from all over China are sorted and packed here.
There are many kinds. Besides Guangdong, we have vegetables from Shandong, Yunnan, and Ningxia. There are more than 100 varieties. Get rid of any foam. We don't want rotten ones. First, cut off the head. Each has to be the same size, the standard size.
Chan Chi-chong is from Macau and is the third generation of his family to run their vegetable business. After he took it over, he followed the business strategy of building processing plants on the Chinese mainland to ready produce from various places, before supplying it to businesses and hotels in Macau.
Since Macau has too many people and not enough land, we had trouble forming our supply chain, so we decided to build this processing plant.
These fruit and vegetables are ready for eating and are sourced mostly from Qingyuan, not far away from Guangdong. These greenhouses, lined up like glass Lego bricks, are a large provider of hydroponically grown, high-quality vegetables.
All the vegetables in this base are for the Macau market, which has higher requirements, so we have higher standards for growing them. We adopt precision irrigation. You can pick these vegetables and eat them raw right on the spot.
The vegetables are grown under carefully controlled and monitored conditions. Every year, 100 tons of high-quality produce from this 13-hectare base are sent to Macau as a gesture of goodwill. After loading, they begin their short but significant journey.
We have to be there at 11 p.m. to be first or second in the queue. The earlier we get to Macau, the earlier we deliver the goods to clients.
As usual, Ma Qingqi is the first in line waiting to cross the border. He knows the freshness of ingredients is of the utmost importance, so he never slacks off.
We two are always at the front of the line. It's either him or me.
We have dinner from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. chatting and having fun. Then we hurry off to load the goods.
It's fine if you charge a bit more.
Most delivery drivers traveling between Macau and the mainland arrive at the Bombay port before midnight. Waiting patiently all night long. At 6 a.m., the border crossing suddenly comes to life, with delivery trucks eager to clear customs. Ma Qingqi knows the process by heart. After 10 minutes, his van is already on the streets of Macau, heading for its final stop, the new wholesale market of Macau. In the market, people are either eating breakfast, resting or exercising because they know the biggest moment of the day is coming. The market is at its busiest when much of Macau is just getting out of bed. The goods won't be kept here for more than 2 hours. By 08:30 a.m., fruit, vegetables and meat have been moved from the wholesale market to Macau street markets in time for household shoppers to buy their everyday supplies. The city has come alive. Now Ma Qingqi can enjoy his breakfast. A bowl of beef noodles, a pineapple bun, and a cup of coffee are his favorites. With his work finished for the day, he can reward himself. Pork from Guangdong, beef from northern China, fruit and vegetables from every province. Today, 90% of ingredients sold in Macau are supplied from the Chinese mainland all year round.
I like coming here because there's a wide variety of choice. In Macau, the chili peppers we used to use in stir-fried dishes weren't very spicy. Now there are many varieties such as these Thai chili. They're imported and very spicy.
With a good supply of high-quality ingredients, different food cultures coexist in Macau. Inclusiveness has been a big part of Macau cuisine for hundreds of years. In the new era, different styles of cooking flourish and compete. Huaiyang cuisine is exquisite. Shandong cuisine is inclusive. Sichuan cuisine is pungent. These distinctive regional cuisines gather together in Macau.
I've been cooking Cantonese cuisine for more than 20 years. In recent years, however, I have also gotten into Sichuan and Hunan cuisines. I think they're the goals I will strive for in the future.
When a chef specialized in Cantonese cuisine takes Sichuan cuisine as his biggest interest, he will naturally integrate the two styles.
This is an old method of marinating using medicinal ingredients in Sichuan. It's been passed down through the generations.
Pickling spices in liquor and sealing them for 12 hours can bring out their flavors. This ancient method that originated from Chinese medicine is used by Chanchek Keong for the making of Sichuan-style oil, which is used as a cooking base.
Sichuan pepper is spicy, while Hunan pepper is pungent. I mix them together for a new taste.
The mix creates a balance between spiciness and pungency. Moreover, Chanchek Keong has a special method of making oil.
The meat pieces must be deep fried until they turn golden and the water in them is drawn out before marinating for one night, so that the oil will be retained.
Making oil with fatty chicken and pork belly is similar to making traditional Sichuan oil with lad. It's a laborious process to which Chanchek Keong is well accustomed.
To make the oil, I simmer the vegetables gently until they're dry. It allows the smell of the spices to permeate the oil.
When peppers and spices meet, their true tastes are brought out by the carefully nurtured oil. Leaving the oil overnight is the final stage. In Macau, an inclusive paradise for diners, each style of cooking has its place. Chefs showcase their talents and communicate through cuisine. Mixing in dried chili gives extra flavor. Fish in hot chili oil originating from southwest China is now marked with Made in Macau. While a Cantonese chef is studying Sichuan cuisine, a Sichuan chef is pondering something new. Yang Dengquan is from Chengdu, the Sichuanese capital. Whenever the restaurant plans to launch a new dish, he'll look things up and ponder over how best to do it.
These two cookbooks are my treasures and friends. I won't let them out of my sight. Many dishes have stories about their origins. Only dishes with stories and histories last long.
In 2003, the first direct flight to Macau from southwestern China was started in Chengdu, bringing numerous tourists from Sichuan to Macau. Today, the distinctive tastes of Sichuan and Hunan cuisines are no longer for these tourists only, but also for all the diners in Macau.
All snacks. Pay attention to the flame, stove, and oil temperature. Don't get burned. Stay safe. There's no time. Busy now. Do you still need those?
Yes.
Then put them away.
Okay.
All members in the team, led by Yang Dengquan, are from Sichuan to ensure the authenticity of their cooking. Now they are facing a new challenge. They need to produce a less spicy, turned-down version of Sichuan cuisine to satisfy the tastes of Macau diners.
Sichuan is renowned for being hot and spicy. Traditionally, it has 24 flavors, 1/3 of which involve chili. At the same time, however, it also has plenty of dishes that are not so spicy.
Yang Dengquan will redefine Sichuan cuisine to suit Macao tastes by focusing on flavors that are more sweet and aromatic. Sweet pork belly is a delicacy originating from traditional feasts in Sichuan. Putting large and brown sugar into sticky rice can increase its sweetness and tenderness. The pork belly is also dressed with brown sugar. The pork is cut into slices. Black sesame is used as a filling to lend the meat its savory flavor. In the steamy kitchen, the sweet and savory smells of meat, rice, and sugar pervade the air. Still more preparation is required to complete the dish.
More and more customers have tasted it, which shows they have accepted Sichuan cuisine, the different Sichuan cuisine. After the sweet pork belly has been steamed, it's stir-fried with strong heat to remove the extra fat, melt the sugar, and make the meat thoroughly cooked.
The delicious taste of sweetened meat comes to penetrate the entire dish. With the topping of crushed peanuts, it's ready to eat. It's another day in Macau. As usual, American chef Connor Beach is studying baking recipes over his morning coffee, as well as working on a new creation.
So this is my sourdough. I started it 8 years ago from pineapple juice, wheat flour, and white flour. Now this is really my baby, and she's the soul of my sourdough bread.
Hideki Fujikawa is a Japanese chef. He starts his day by sharpening his knives.
Elle used to be criticized by my master for doing things wrongly or cutting things wrongly. He'd examine my knife. If it wasn't well sharpened, I'd be scolded. I've inherited everything he taught me, and I'm working hard.
For hundreds of years, Macau, with the land area of just 33 square kilometers, has gathered different flavors from both east and west. Cuisine in Macau has never stopped moving forward. A seemingly ordinary poached egg is often used to measure the standard of a French restaurant. With the bringing together with so many talents, every world-class cuisine shines in Macau. It might be the classic French dish of foie gras, an authentic Italian delicacy, or a dazzling series of cocktails. Macau is like a rotating tray, offering gourmet food from all over the world. You never know what surprises it's going to present next.
Living and working in Macau is great. The restaurants have very high standard, world-class restaurants. And it's really convenient. My home is right near the LRT station. I can take the train every day and it takes just 13 minutes.
Today, Hideki Fujikawa comes into work earlier than usual. A special ingredient is arriving from across the oceans.
These horsehair crabs look amazing. Their color is bright and their weight is right. They must have a lot of crab roe and large legs. I think it contains a lot of meat. Obviously, fresh live crabs are the best.
The fresh crabs have been flown in from Hokkaido and are a prize catch for the Japanese chef. To bring out the fresh, sweet flavor of their meat, he decides to add a smart detail to the poaching process.
To make the crab more fresh and sweet, you need to boil the water and provide substantial heat for circulation. So I thought of folding a piece of aluminium foil into a cover on the water when poaching the crab.
Tender green perilla leaves are coated in batter and fried until crispy to add texture. When he comes to dividing a crab, Fujikawa is an expert. With a good knife, he can remove all of its meat in 3 minutes. The sandwich is crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Finished refresh the urchin that's also from Hokkaido. It's a signature dish he has created, especially for Macao.
This is the Mizumi burger. Please have a taste.
A burger.
Fujikawa has used the theme of the most common and best known of American dishes. A real hamburger is of course made of beef. Nobody knows more about optimum conditions for storing the best beef than American chef Connor Beach.
Welcome to Macau and welcome to my Himalaya Salt Kingdom. I will never watch the video. Never watch.
Although not very confident in front of our camera, Chef Connor has 100% confidence in the quality of the beef in this room. Instead of bricks, the walls are made of Himalayan salt slabs, which have an antimicrobial effect and help regulate humidity. Coupled with water mist, they work to improve the flavor of the stored meat. It's a process called dry aging.
So here you can see our Australian Angus tomahawk. Right now it's about 10 days of dry aging, and that's gonna make the meat very juicy after we cooked it. And then we're gonna give it another 18 to 20 days before we can trim it and grill it for you.
Japanese chefs are as passionate for fish as American chefs are for beef. This bluefin tuna has been flown in from Japan, where single freshly caught bluefin tuna have been auctioned for millions of dollars. In Macau, gourmet food made with all parts of the bluefin tuna is highly sought after. Given the meat's value, Chef Fujikawa is extremely particular about the way he prepares it.
Many people think that the most freshly caught fish makes the best sashimi. But it's a different case with tuna. Before this tuna is shipped here, it is aged for 2 to 3 days in Japan. Personally, I think it should be preserved for another week or so, which will release more of the tuna's potential.
Aging of tuna is similar to that of beef. It intensifies the meat's flavor and tenderizes its tissues. As long as the conditions are right, time will have an improving effect. Because of the training, quality of ingredients, time and storage conditions required, preparation like this is normally the preserve of fine dining. course? Connor Beach's top quality beef should be cooked over the best charcoal grill. A good set of sushi knives can cost more than many chefs earn in a year. Macao's high-end, integrated resort hosts some of the world's most discerning diners. In turn, this creates demand for world-class chefs. So alongside its own culinary heritage, the Special Administrative Region also offers top-level international dining.
This is a tuna sushi. Please enjoy. Hokkaido. Year 2021. Tuna belly.
Chef Fujikawa is learning Cantonese with the help of a notebook, although, of course, the best way is to be a practice.
How are you? Long time no see.
During his 7 years in Macau, a late-night snack after work has been his chosen time for relaxation. The owner of this restaurant he frequents has become his Cantonese language teacher.
How do you like the food today?
Yummy. Yummy. Too spicy.
Too spicy?
With such a wide variety of the best culinary talent, the inclusive and eclectic city of Macau is a perfect place for chefs to learn from each other.
Hi, good afternoon, chef. How are you?
Chef, how are you? Everything okay?
Hey, everything okay? Are you busy today?
Not bad.
So what is the product?
Actually, this one is our ossobuco, PL.
Oh, can you show me how to do it?
Yes, of course. It's my pleasure. Please.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Over the years, Joseph Tse has learned to communicate with foreign chefs in English. Recently, he has developed an interest in sous vide cooking. Joseph Tse's restaurant was the first in Macau to be awarded 3 Michelin stars.
Cantonese cuisine has never stopped developing because us Cantonese chefs are constantly learning cooking techniques from all over the world.
Sous vide generally refers to cooking meat or fish by vacuum sealing and immersion in warm water. It allows for perfect control, uniformity of cooking, and perfect results every time.
Wow, very delicious.
You can use it for every kind of part of meat, but just you have to remember that the beef and veal have different cooking. This is very good.
Yeah.
You see the color is still peaking. Yeah. It's so jelly.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Since learning about the new method, Joseph has been using it to cook some of his own dishes.
I'm going to apply Western sous vide cooking to this crispy beef. For the marinade, we will use a traditional Cantonese one.
Frying the beef finishly in boiling oil retains its moisture. This is a technique commonly used in Chinese meat dishes. A cooking sauce is then made with fried vegetables, spices, and condiments. Joseph couldn't be more familiar with this marinade preparation routine. But instead of his usual method, Joseph will now use a sous vide oven to strictly control the temperature at a low level for slow steering.
This way of cooking can better retain the beef's original texture.
The result is meat that is tender and juicy. Inspired by Japanese tempura, Joseph goes further to batter and fry the beef to give it a crispy crust. The meat underneath has an excellent texture and a distinctive Cantonese taste. Unsurprisingly, as a dish, it is placed on the restaurant's must-order menu.
I have a special fondness for this piece. It's for Lotus Banquet, but its casting mold is nowhere to be found now, so I've been keeping it here as a souvenir in case I can't find any more pieces like it.
In Macau, almost all outstanding chefs devote themselves to innovation. Ever since the city's return to China, So Pedro has never stopped delving into the potential of a Lotus Banquet. It is his use of worldwide ingredients and a combination of Chinese and Western cooking techniques that marks his creations out from traditional plant-based dishes. China has a unique history of cultivating culinary vibrancy. Its wide variety of food resources and deep traditions form an ideal foundation for ambitious chefs to innovate on, to bring forth new creations from an old and distinguished heritage. It's 4 p.m. and Chef Lam Wai-seng of a seafood restaurant is waiting for a big visitor.
It's been a while since I last saw a fish this big. 1, 2, 3. It's huge.
The arrival of this 75-kilo fish raises a commotion in the whole restaurant.
Careful, careful. 1, 2, 3.
Lam Wai-seng even dresses up in preparation for a showing of this fish. This time-honored seafood restaurant has a tradition of parading the most outstanding food before its customers. From the kitchen staff, the buzz raised by the fish is now spreading among the customers.
I never saw a fish this huge.
The biggest I've ever seen weighed about 5 kilos.
The seafood in Macau is fresher.
The restaurant has full confidence in the freshness of this giant grouper. It comes from an aqua farm in China's tropical island province, Hainan. Only a handful of the most popular restaurants in Macau have the means to obtain such a top-quality specimen. In Chef Lam Wai-seng's eyes, every part of a big fish can be made into a palatable dish. He always saves its back meat for hot pot. The thick back meat with a layer of collagen-rich skin delivers a chewy taste after poaching, similar to tender veal. Hot pot is popular throughout China. Since starting out in Macau, one entrepreneur has expanded his hot pot business to Beijing.
This is where I grew up. Konya Street. It's a small street that extends about 200 meters from that end to the other. Long time no see, sir. I come back to Macau for 2 to 3 days each month, like a visitor. Beijing has been my home court these years.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fly with Air Macau. This is flight next 002 from Macau to Beijing. I am Captain Lam Ka-chun. On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard.
Three hours is all it takes for Frankie Chan to fly from Macau to his new home in Beijing.
I took her to Macau.
Right.
I took her there, and because we both liked hot pot, I took her out for a hot pot dinner.
I grew up in Beijing and was quite amazed trying Macao-style hot pot for the first time in my life.
And then we both decided to introduce it to Beijing.
"16 years ago, Frankie and Wei Wei's hot pot restaurant took roots in Beijing. It still uses its classic chicken feet and pork bone broth recipe today. Chicken bones and pork skin make up the basic ingredients to enrich the taste of the broth. Frankie adds in fresh prawns and other shellfish. After stewing for 12 hours, the broth thickens and matures. This is when collagen-rich chicken feeds and cartilage, as well as an assortment of vegetables, are put in to perfect it.
This batch of meat was good when delivered, right?
Yes.
Over the past 16 years, Frankie has devoted himself to developing beef cuts for his hot pot business, which are more popular with Chinese northerners. Rib, finger, and ribeye with mouth-watering marbling. Rib finger with mouth-watering marbling are a perfect match for the exquisite hot pot broth. After taking one sip, Frankie wants his customers in Beijing to be transported all the way south by the taste of his hometown.
Been a while, brothers. Maybe we could grab a late-night snack together if you're free tonight.
Sure, Mr. Lamb. I'll be there.
Got it, Mr. Lamb. Count me in.
Copy, Mr. Lamb.
Got it, Mr. Lamb. I'll be there on time.
Roger, Mr. Lamb.
Jackie Lam is a leading figure in Cantonese cuisine in Macau. He has promoted exchanges between chefs from the mainland and Macau for many years. As a Macau resident, born and bred, his life has been tied closely to the city.
These are the high water marks of typhoon floods. This marks the water depth on August 23rd, 2017, when the super typhoon Hato hit Macau.
With the support of its motherland, Macau can stand up to and recover quickly from the biggest of storms.
Among all of Macau's markets, this one, though smaller, has the most seafood. Fishermen fish in the morning and transport their catches here in the afternoon. So the seafood sold here is very fresh. That's some nice Bombay duck you got there. Wow, these are really nice. These Bombay duck are produced in the waters of the Pearl River Delta. This one's pink-skinned, which means its meat is in top quality. If it's paler like this one, the meat is not as good. 3 kilos for me, please.
Bombay duckfish are a variety of fish commonly seen in Southeast China. They are Jackie Lam's favorite.
Us chefs should not discriminate between rare and common ingredients. Cooking them into delicious food is all that matters.
Baited and deep fried. To make sure the flesh inside is as tender as tofu, Jackie must strictly control the temperature of his oil for a final sort lasting no more than 5 seconds. Finally, his signature dish, that is crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, is completed. When steamed and served with chenkun rice noodles sourced from Shunde in Guangdong, Bombay duckfish take on a different character. Steaming gives their meat a more delicate flavor.
Are you not cold?
Upon Jackie's invitation, his old friends, peers, and one-time students have gathered here this evening. As usual on such occasions, he is doing the cooking. He is always hoping to share and exchange ideas.
I'm going to make you one more dish that I call Macao tofu casserole. Don't hesitate to take more if you like it.
Jackie names the casserole after Macao as it features the city's speciality, shrimp paste.
Macao tofu casserole is a very homely dish. Back in the day, it was often eaten by laborers and rickshaw pullers. Its essence is appetizing and savory shrimp paste.
The shrimp paste also enhances the taste of pork belly and leek added to the tofu from Macao of the 20th century. It's a very representative dish.
One by one. Next time, I'll invite you again and we'll take a group photo. 20 years ago, our seniors took one. They'd like us to take a picture together as a souvenir and a source of motivation for all of us, okay?
Alrighty.
Food enriches life in Macao, both during its busy working days and its leisurely evenings. To carry forward their heritage, a younger generation of chefs are eagerly learning from their seniors. World-class chefs abound in this Chinese city, along with discerning diners to demand their high standards. After embracing two cultures as a colonial enclave, Macao has prospered in the 22 years since it returned to the motherland. It will continue to prosper with the motherland's firm and sustained support. With China behind it, facing the world, a small city of unique and celebrated the culinary traditions.